Hare Krishna. So we'll do Kirtan. Do you have in the paper Jai Radha Madhav? Is it there? Jai Radha Madhav. No? Not there? No. But you can follow. It's a very simple kirtan. Just yeah. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Right? So, Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Gopijana Vallabha Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Banachari Yamuna Tira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Banachari भगवद गीता ग्रंथ की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्रील गुरुदेव की जय, निताय गौर हरि प्रेमानंद, हरि बोल, हरे कृष्ण। One second. నేను క్లాస్ మధ్యలో ఉన్నాను, మాట్లాడలేను. మీరు డైరెక్ట్ వచ్చేసేయండి. లొకేషన్ పెట్టాను కదా, మేము కృషికి వచ్చి గేట్ దగ్గర కిందకి వచ్చాము. Hare Krishna, welcome all. Today is Ekadashi, once again a very auspicious day. So anybody here sitting in the class without the textbook, lift your hand. Yes, so there are textbooks here, please go and take it. It's 200 rupees per textbook. You can leave the money later or you can GPay me, but please take your textbook. Because you should not go to any class without textbook. Hare Krishna. Yes. And also take a chanting bag there. Chanting bag we'll use at the end of the class today. Today is Ekadashi. So we'll do one round together. Yeah, one round of Hare Krishna mantra together. There you go. So the invocation prayers are there in the paper that I had given, and also in Bhagavad Gita, they are there in the page number 1. Right? Omagyan Timirandasya. You can go there and chant along with me. Om Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadadi Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavasya Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunatham Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhobhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Can everyone lift your hands? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Please repeat after me as loudly as you can. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhiraye Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopaha Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namah Pankajanabhaya Namah Pankajamaline Namah Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangre Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate.
Krishna Prema Pradayate.
Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya.
Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya.
Namine Gauratvishe Namaha.
Namine Gauratvishe Namaha.
Namo Brahmanyaya Devaya. Gau Brahmana Hitaya Cha. Jagatitaya Krishnaya.
Jagatpitaya Krishna.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya. Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale.
Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale.
Srimate Bhakti Vedanta.
Srimate Bhakti Vedanta.
Swami Niti Namine.
Swami Niti Namine.
Namaste Saraswati Deve.
Namaste Saraswati Deve.
Gauravani Pracharine.
Gauravani Pracharine.
Nirvishesha Shunyavadi.
Nirvishesha Shunyavadi.
Pasyatya Deshatarine.
Pasyatya Deshatarine.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
Prabhu Nityananda.
Prabhu Nityananda.
Shri Advaita Gadadhara.
Shri Advaita
Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare
Om Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Grimit Kripa Tamam Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishvara. Om Pavitro Pavitro Va Sarvavastam Gato Vivayat Smaret Pundari Kamshasa Bhyabhyantaram Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Professor Matajis, for coming today morning, another Sunday morning. So, what is special about this Sunday? The special about this Sunday is it's like one day after Gita Jayanti, or rather today also Gita Jayanti. Actually, Gita Jayanti and Ekadashi comes at a time. It's the Ekadashi on the day we celebrate Gita Jayanti. But this time the timing, of the stars is a little different. So Gita Jayanti fell on yesterday, and today the Ekadashi is. A lot of temples also celebrate today as Gita Jayanti. The day Bhagavad Gita was revealed to all of us, right? The day Sanjaya repeated the recording telecast to all of us is today. And roughly 5,179 years ago, when Lord Krishna was speaking Bhagavad Gita, he knew that all of us will be sitting here in my home Krishe and will be listening to this. You can't hear? Okay. Hare Krishna is better? Okay. So Krishna knows what is today, what is tomorrow, everything he knows. Don't you think he knows that today morning you'll come here? When did he know this? Don't you think he knows 5,000 years ago? It's very surprising for us to understand this thing. We all are learning data science, but the data science Krishna does is beyond our imagination, right? He knows everything. He knows million lives ago what were we. He knows last life what we were doing. He knows next life what we'll do. He knows everything. And that is the reason he's Krishna. And we are not. And this is the discussion that happens when in 4th chapter, Arjuna asks, Krishna, you're just my age. How can you say that you know all my previous births? No volume? Is it better? Yeah? Okay. Naresh. Yeah. So, as many as all of you have Bhagavad Gitas. Please, my humble request is encourage others to also read Bhagavad Gita. You also read Bhagavad Gita. One of the best techniques to read Bhagavad Gita is called CHAD, C-H-A-D, chapter a day. Right? What I do is I read chapter a day. When I go to my office, I take Bhagavad Gita, I open it, and then I go to chapter number, say any. I start with first chapter. I just read all the translations. I read all the translations. It takes me 12 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes. Then I start my work. Right? So chapter a day I can do for 1 week. So 1 week I'll only read first chapter. Only read all the translations, right? From the top to the beginning, to the end. And then next week I'll start with chapter 2. In 18 weeks, I finish all the 18 chapters. But good thing about doing this is you'll remember what Krishna spoke in what chapter. The 7 times you would have repeated the chapter during the week. Right? It's called CHAD, chapter a day. It's very simple exercise. You can also do that. Have a Bhagavad Gita, nice on your this counter. I keep in my cabin. Whenever anybody comes, the Bhagavad Gita is right there. So somebody asked, sir, I can have 1 copy. I said, okay, there is a box below. There are some Bhagavad Gitas in there. You take that. Right? I also kind of hit the HR in my company, finance and HR. So I'm thinking to give 1 Bhagavad Gita as part of induction also. Well, this is India. Meri Marzi. Yeah, we should do that. Don't hesitate to give what should be given. Right? This is something that should be given. Should not be thought whether I should give or not. Is it auspicious or not? A lot of people have a lot of misconceptions in India created by people that people should have Bhagavad Gita or no. Especially during this month, we go on the streets and we distribute Bhagavad Gitas. So weird things come up. Once when Mataji came, I was saying, Mataji want Bhagavad Gita, I want, घर में बहुत लड़ाई होता है. तो घर में लड़ाई होता है, तो भगवद गीता से क्या संबंध है इसका? नहीं, भगवद गीता लेने से घर में बहुत लड़ाई होता है. कि उसमें लड़ाई के बारे में बताया गया. People think people have fights in home, when they read Bhagavad Gita like that. Some people say that it should be kept only after a certain age. Should not keep it in the house before. Or some people just keep it, so it's Bhagavad Gita as it is, they'll keep it as it is. They'll not remove it out. They'll never remove and read it. It remains as it is, like that. Some people don't even remove the cover. धूल लग जाएगा. धूल यहाँ है, उसको निकालने के लिए इसकी जरूरत. I was distributing Bhagavad Gita once, and one person came and said, "Can I ask you a question?" I said, "Yes. Why does Krishna wear more tilak? So more punk?" I said, "I never thought about it. Isn't Vrindavan? There is a pastime. There is a pastime why he does it. I'll tell you." I said, "Okay, you already know. Then tell me why he was." See, one day he wanted to eat peacocks, and after peacock eating, he kept the more punks there. I said, "Baapre, kidhar se paida hote log. You can come up with anything. These days, there are so many bogus gurus in the internet. They can speak about Bhagavad Gita, not even getting trained in Bhagavad Gita. They don't even read Bhagavad Gita, but they comment about Krishna. They comment about Bhagavad Gita. That's what is going on today. And there are fools who also sit down there and listen to that. Guruji, kya bole aap? In the internet, you'll see the comments also below. Today, Guruji is speaking very deep. Very, very in depth. उसको वो पागल है, उसको मालूम ही नहीं भगवद गीता में क्या है, और ये लोग पागल है जो उसके पागलपन को समझ रहे हैं. That is what is going on. Never read Bhagavad Gita from a wrong source. Never ever read. That's like almost drinking poisoned milk, right? Cow milk is nectar for you, but when a serpent touches it, it becomes poison. In the same way, reading Bhagavad Gita, hearing Bhagavad Gita from unauthorized sources will only make your knowledge completely polluted. And whatever little benefit you have to get, that also will be gone. And that is the reason, when we kind of teach Bhagavad Gita also, I also insist all of you, do these things, chant every day, because I want this knowledge to go to the right persons. If it doesn't go to wrong, if it goes to a wrong person, he will create more damage using this knowledge. Right? Knowledge can also be used for a wrong purpose. Anyway, so we discussed in the last 3 weeks, first shloka, then few shlokas. So we discussed about Duryodhana's politics, how he was accumulating the army, praising this side, that side, and then we discussed how the conch shells were blown and all the warriors are ready to do the war. Right? Everything is all set. Project scope is defined, project timelines are defined, teams are sitting before each other, they're about to, I don't know, what do you say? Project kickoff meeting. And then the project manager says something. What does he say? Let us see. So this section of Bhagavad Gita from shloka number 1.21 to 1.27. Yeah, 1.27 is called Krishna as Bhakta Vatsala. That is a kind of subheading from 21 to 27. Krishna as Bhakta Vatsala. So please repeat after me. Shloka number 21 and 22. Arjuna Uvacha. Does everybody have this page open? Everybody here? You all have Bhagavad Gita, right? Yeah. Okay. Arjuna Uvacha. Senayorubhayo madhye. Ratam sthapaya me achyuta. Yavad eta nikshayam. Yotu kaman avasthitan. Kairmaya yudhyavam. Yudhyavyam. Asimrana samudhyame. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Please repeat after me. Arjuna said, O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms. Right? So now the conversation has started. Right? So far introductions are happening. So Arjuna has finally spoken to Krishna, saying, huge array of army, 11 plus 7 Akshohinis. We can't imagine the kind of army that was there. In today's day and time, we can really not imagine. How many here have gone to Golconda? Anybody? Yeah, so many have not gone. Oh, should go. It's so nearby. It's a nice place. Golconda is famous for only one reason. What is the reason? Ramadas was kept in a cave there. For me, that is the reason. There can be many other reasons. Ramadas was kept in a cave there, and in that cave, he made the murti of, like he literally scratched and made with stones, murti of Ram, Lakshman, and Sita. Right? And he worshipped when he was kept in that jail. So many of you don't know who is Ramadas? Yeah, so here in this part of India, he is very famous. Ramadas Kirtans, unbelievable Kirtans. He's a great devotee of Lord Ram. So I will not take his story today. I request that's one of your homeworks to go home and understand who is Ramadas. Right? You'll be amazed to hear his story. What kind of a devotee of Lord Ram he was. So he was kept in the jail here. And very beautiful pastime happened in the jail. So, yeah. So let's read the purport and we'll understand. Yeah, why did he go to Golconda, by the way? I completely lost that track. So in Golconda, when you go, there is near the main door, as soon as you go inside, go with a guide. Don't go without a guide. And it's worth it if you go with a guide. He'll tell you some very, very confidential things in that place. Right? You would not even know that. So there is a place where there is like a dumbbell, like an iron dumbbell. How many have seen that? Anybody here? Yeah, yeah. So it's like a dumbbell, right? It will be like itna rahega, and it has something to hold. So he told this was one of the tests they used to take to select a soldier. If somebody wants to become a soldier, that is one of the tests. And he warned, if you are from Infosys, Wipro, don't touch it. Microsoft, Amazon, don't touch it because your arm will break. You're useless fellows after software. Kamar over sab mar gaye. So he told, don't even think about it. So he told, this is the thing. This is the thing they used to lift. Right? They used to lift that thing with one hand, like one in one, two hands. They lift it like this, and they have to climb the whole Golconda with that. Right? The soldier has to climb the whole Golconda, and then there is a room on top of a hill. And to go to that room, there is a big wall, and outside the wall, 1 feet stone comes out. And literally, if you slip, you'll fall down the wall. So you have to walk on that stones, go into the room, and then holding that, you have to do like 100 sit-ups. That's why I told, don't think about it. And that was the minimum qualification to get into the basic position in army. right? In the how many years old I'm talking about? 100 years. Not more than 100. 100 साल पहले बहुत लोग कर लेते थे कुछ. अभी बहुत मुश्किल है. अभी करने के बारे में मत सोचो. सोच से ही पीठ में दर्द आ जाएगा. Right? So that was the kind of army that Mughals had, or rather Indians. Can you imagine the strength of Shivaji Maharaj? How many years have gone to what is a temple in Maharashtra that comes before Sholapur? Tulja Bhavani. Yeah. If you go to Tulja Bhavani temple, you will see the sword of Shivaji. This is sword of Shivaji. That's where he went and he prayed to Bhavani Mata saying, now give me the strength to throw these Mughals out of this country. So he got that strength from there. So there that sword will be there. With that sword, he fought for the whole day. Without keeping it down, never keeping it down. He can't even lift that sword. I think I need another person to come and lift the sword. That is the kind of strength the warriors had. And I'm not talking about too far off. Right? How many have heard the assignment that I had given? Very naughty students. बहुत naughty है. Suno, if you don't finish those sessions, you cannot follow our second chapter. I'm telling you. Your second chapter is going to be very advanced knowledge. And I want you to finish that SSR. And actually, one of the reasons I'm going a little slow on the verses is because I wanted to finish SSR parallelly. May I humbly request everyone to do it, please? Yeah? Please do it. You can even do it while you are driving, while you are, I don't know, any activity in the house you are doing, you can just keep it there and keep hearing. Because I'll cover one by one topic. So last topic was about scriptures. Why should we believe in these scriptures? Right? A lot of people have a lot of questions. Prabhuji, ये तो कहीं printed हुआ है. It is printed somewhere. Why should I believe in this? Anybody can write anything. To make you understand that session is there, which will resolve all the questions related to scriptures. Right? If you don't have that faith, you cannot understand Bhagavad Gita. You have to have the faith. Right? So please, my humble request is go home today, finish that session, and before that, 2 more homeworks are already there. Session 1 and session 2. Right? 3 hours each, but you can easily go through. There will be a lot of examples. Only difficult thing is you'll have to tolerate my voice. That's the only thing is. Otherwise, you can easily finish all the sessions. Okay? So I can't ask many questions. So next week, I'm going to ask questions on session 3 and session 4 together. Right? So session 4 is kind of homework for this week. So session 4 is what? I think faith. Modes of mental nature? Yes, modes of mental nature. That's a very important session. Modes of mental nature. Trigun, Sattvagun, Rajogun, Tamogun. What is the meaning of this? Why it is important for me to know? Right? All those things you'll learn. Some of you already attended SSR here. For even them, I'm telling you, just listen again because it will nicely refresh your knowledge. It's very important we keep revising it. So I'll read the purport here. Although Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, out of his causeless mercy, he was engaged in the service of his friend. He never fails in his affection for his devotees, and thus he addressed himself as infallible. Achyuta. Achyuta infallible. As charioteer, he had to carry out the orders of Arjuna, and since he did not hesitate to do so, he is addressed as infallible. Although he had accepted the position of a charioteer for his devotees, his supreme position was not challenged. In all circumstances, he is the supreme personality of Godhead, Hrishikesha, the Lord of the total senses. Hrishik means senses, right? Hrishikesha means the controller of all senses. Right? When we are chanting, our mind keeps going here and there. So mind is one of the senses. Who can control that mind? Krishna can control that mind. So that is the reason we pray to Krishna that please control my mind. Please control my mind. Rishikesha. The relationship between the Lord and his servitor is very sweet and transcendental. The servitor is always ready to render service to the Lord, and similarly, the Lord is always seeking an opportunity to render some service to the devotee. He takes great pleasure in his pure devotees, assuming the advantageous position of ordering him than he does in being given the orders, giver of orders. Sorry. Yeah. So here, the beauty is, just like we love our children, and how we behave with our children. Exactly, Krishna also behaves with all of us. Like for example, once one person wanted to meet, the Prince of England for some big meeting, right? So he was like, he went there and he said, "I'm the Prime Minister of this other country. I want to meet the Prince of England." And his secretary told, "Prince is very busy inside. He's having some busy meeting, so he can't meet." So he was sitting outside, and after some time, we felt like he should go and see inside. He's just in the room beside. So the door was there. He just moved the door and saw what is going on inside. So Prince of England, he had his grandson on his back and he was playing horse. Right? He was doing the horse thing. His grandson was sitting on the top. So that was an important meeting he was having. Right? Can you imagine what a grandson's position is, right? When he's a grandson of Prince. Exactly, Krishna is also like that with us. Right? Krishna gives that kind of, when you're a devotee of Krishna, he makes you so important, just like the prince gave importance to his grandson. Right? So he's a driver here. How many here want to become a driver? How many here are sending your children to school to become a driver? But beta, acha padke driver banna. Is anybody telling like that? Driver is not a very respectable post. Not very respectable post. Though we totally trust him, right? When you are sleeping, he's driving. God knows what he can do. That's made your last ride also. So you really trust him that yes, he's going to take you to your destination. But that's not a very respectful position. And in those days, when you are a driver like a charioteer, nowadays you have to tell the driver, "Hey, bhaiya, thoda left le lo, thoda right le lo," you tell like that. On the chariot, there is no way you can tell all those things. You are literally shooting arrows, and on a speck of seconds, you're shooting like 15, 20 arrows. And if you just miss looking at one side, one arrow can come and kill you. And you're facing people like Karna and Bhishma, whose arrow would never miss the target, right? So that time, the only way Krishna would be communicated by Arjuna is by kicking. Arjuna would kick Krishna from the back, this side. That means turn right. This side, turn left. Can you imagine? Right? It's not an ordinary thing. You can't imagine. But that is the position Lord Krishna has taken for his devotee. That's why it's called Bhakta Vatsala. Krishna can go to any extent to serve his devotee. He can wait outside his door. The devotee will tell, "To bar thehra le." Just stand outside. I'm going to come. He's standing there like this. What is he named as? Vitthal. Even now he's standing like that. Panduranga Vitthal. So he can be, he is all the time in a mood to serve. When his devotees were in trouble, when the whole attack happened by Indra and it was raining like anything, immediately he had to go do something for his devotees. What did he lifted a hill? Right? On his left hand, pinky finger, he lifted a hill. Big insult to Indra. He didn't lift like this. He just lifted on his pinky finger, the most weakest part of your body. That to left hand pinky finger. Lifted on that and he stood like that. 7 days and 7 nights he was standing there. Right? So that is so what is named by lifting that? Govardhan Dhari. It was just called Srinathji. Right? Then he was looking for Radharani here and there, like closing his eyes. His mother was also there, Yashodamai. Radharani was also there somewhere. So in front of mother, if you are looking at your girlfriend, there's a problem. So I said, "Aankh band karke aise dekh rahe." That's why you see Srinathji's eyes are like this. Like this is searching. Have you seen Srinathji? Deity of Srinathji? Eyes are closed like that, right? And then, he gets a love letter from he's fighting with Jarasandha, and in between he gets a love letter saying that you received the first love letter in the history of creation. Rukmini has written to him, and immediately he says, love letter is more important than any war. So he leaves the war and he goes to, read the love letter. And he's called as what? Ranchod Rai. Ranchod Rai. For leaving battle place also is being celebrated. There is a temple in Gujarat called Ranchod Rai. Shri Ranchod Rai Bhagwan ki. See? Everything he does, anything he does, he holds a stick and he holds a murli on the other one and he stands like this, and he is being worshipped as Udupi Krishna, right? In Karnataka, just by holding this, he's just moving his hand. Yahan se haath nikala, yahan pe lagaya Vitthal ho gaya, yahan pe lagaya Udupi Krishna ho gaya. He keeps his hand below his head like this and relaxes. He is worshipped as Padmanabha Swami, right? Ranganath Swami, huh? And then he removes that hand and he brings his, what do you call that? His enemy on his lap, and he छीरने से क्या बोलते हैं नरसिंह देव is worshipped as नरसिंह देव. Entire Andhra Pradesh नरसिंह क्षेत्र है कि नहीं? Then he goes a little towards top, and then he removes his hands like this, opens his eyes and keeps it like this. Oh, come and hug me. What is he called as? Jagannath. Again, then he removes the hands, keeps his hands in the air, and says, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. What is he called as? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranga. थोड़ा हाथ इधर उधर बदल दिया, इतना नाम आ गया, इतना फेमस. अब हम लोग हाथ बदलते क्या आते हैं? कुछ भी. And that great supreme personality of Godhead is sitting as a driver in the front. And Mahabharata explains that he is to clean the chariot, clean the whole place where Arjuna is going to stand, clean his seat, feed the horses, make them ready for the war, and bring them in front of Arjuna's room in the battlefield before Arjuna used to wake up. That's what drivers do. Right? Somebody wants to be a best driver, you should learn from Krishna. Right? That's what he would do. It's not like Krishna will come in later and say, "Take Arjuna, tum saaf karo, main aake chalata hu." No, he would be a best driver. When Arjuna requested that, "Can you be my charioteer?" Krishna took a lot of pleasure in doing it. And he did exactly like the best driver would do. You should understand the nature of God. He is the best in anything he does. If he is a driver, he is the best driver, the most obedient driver. You know, if somebody has to kill a warrior, they will not attack the warrior first. They would attack the driver first. Because the driver is injured, then he can easily catch that fellow. He cannot go this side, that side. How many of you know that more injuries Krishna had than Arjuna? By doing that, it's not like he's doing the charity and saying, Hare Hare Bol. No, he was being shot left, right, and center. Bhishma shoot him. And Bhishma is a great devotee of Krishna. And just imagine what kind of devotion is this? He's shooting arrows at Krishna, and Arjuna is trying to protect Krishna from being shot. His charioteer, he's coming in between and he's trying to pull the arrow, and Bhishma is like shooting at Krishna, and Krishna is bleeding. And Bhishma, that's called chivalry rasa. You know that's another kind of rasa. So there is another kind of rasa in love. There is Shanta rasa. Just by being with Krishna, you are happy. There is Sakhya rasa. You being a friend to Krishna, like Arjuna is a friend. Sudama, Sridhama are friends. Like there is Vatsalya rasa. Being a parent, you're trying to serve. Dasya rasa, by worshipping the Lord. Madhurya rasa, by being a lover of Krishna. And this is called, I forgot the exact name, warrior rasa, you can say. There is a name for this. Virya rasa, where you want to fight with Krishna. And that also is enjoyment for Krishna. Krishna chooses who is the one who wants to fight with me. Bhishma, in this life you come and you fight with me. I want to enjoy this. And Bhishma is enjoying fighting with Krishna. And Krishna is enjoying being a servitor of his servitor. Right? After telling Bhagavad Gita, can you imagine Arjuna's position? Now Arjuna had no doubts he is the Supreme Lord. But after hearing the entire Bhagavad Gita, he clearly knows that he is the Supreme Lord. After seeing the Vishwarup, where Lord Shiva, Vishnu, Brahma, everybody are Varuna, Agni, and everybody are part of him. And then he is sitting as a driver in front of him and saying, Aaj batao kidhar leke aana. Right? And he has no other choice but to direct him by kicking him, saying, go this side, go that side. Of course, it's not kicking as kicking, but that's the way it works. That's the way it works in the battlefield. How many of you, would want to play such a role for your friend? Huh? For your wife? 2-3 बार बीवी बोलती है इधर जाओ उधर. कितने बार बोलते हो? मेरे को मालूम है किधर जाना. For your friend, for your wife, for your parents. How many of you want to be a driver only? Yes, but Krishna can be the driver. That is the greatness of Krishna. Right? That's why it's called Bhakta Vatsala Krishna. Now here Prabhupada is beautifully explaining, the position of driver, the way Krishna is here. Yeah. Underline this sentence. He takes great pleasure. He takes great pleasure in his pure devotees, assuming the advantageous position of ordering him than he does in being giver of orders. Since he is the master, since he is the master, everyone is under his orders, and no one is above him to order him. But when he finds that a pure devotee is ordering him, he obtains transcendental pleasure, although he is the infallible master in all circumstances. Right? He feels pleasure when his devotee orders him. Jao, very lekar. He'll be very, very happy. Very happy to do that. See, a lot of people in the world, they have a conception of God that he is a very powerful person, somebody who can destroy everybody. Paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya duskritam, dharma sansthapanartha. That and all is external definition of God. Internal definition is love for all of us. Right? How many things he is doing for us, you don't know. You really don't know how many things he's doing for us. See, one person, it was his birthday. So his friend came and told him, his friend is a devotee, that, please thank God for whatever he has given you. I already thanked, he told him. He said, do you know what all God has given you? So I know what all God has given you. So he told, okay, so list down, I'm giving you paper and pen, list down what all God is giving you. But one condition. If you have not written something, tomorrow you will not have that. List it. He got scared. He said, no, because you don't know what all God has done for you. Right? Literally, if somebody here, is coming here from outside, right? Krishna even managed the traffic signals for you today morning. Krishna even managed the traffic for you today morning. Because he wants his devotee to go and hear Bhagavad Gita at some place. He's doing all the arrangements. He'll make everything happen, provided we do that little endeavor of being sincere of coming to a class. That's all. Krishna, I want to come. He will take care of everything under it. Behind it, around it. He'll do it. Even if you're having so much work in the office, just tell Krishna, I need to go to this class. Can you make it? He can do coding also. He can do testing. He can do every damn thing. He will take care of everything. You should have that little faith. Thoda faith rakho ki Krishna, please, I want to attend your classes. I want to hear Bhagavad Gita. I'm not joking. Huh? Please keep that faith. He will take care of everything. You will get promotion when you're not working, I'm telling you. If Krishna wants. If Krishna can take care of everything. Yes. So as a pure devotee of Lord, I'm not encouraging you not to work. You still have to do what you do. As a pure devotee of Lord, Arjuna had no desire to fight with his cousins and brothers, but he was forced to come into the battlefield by the obstinacy of Duryodhana, who was never agreeable to any peaceful negotiation. Therefore, he was very anxious to see who the leading persons present on the battlefield were. Although there was no question of peacemaking endeavor on the battlefield, he wanted to see them again and to see how much they were bent upon demanding an unwanted war. Right? It is explained even Bhima, who wanted to actually kill all the sons of Dhritarashtra, and he had made so many resolutions, and he himself is a very strong person. Just before the war started, when Krishna was going to negotiation, it's in Bhima even came and told Krishna at one time that Krishna, try to make sure war doesn't happen. Even Bhima. It's astonishing thing. Because war is a very costly thing. It is not going to give any good to anybody. Pandavas know that. And even, when everybody on the other side is ready to kill them, still Arjuna is a devotee. You should understand one thing. Arjuna is a great warrior, but he's a great devotee also. A devotee means paradukha dukhi. Right? Paradukha dukhi means if he cannot see anybody sad, he cannot see anybody going through any pain. What to speak of giving pain? Everybody has a qualification of becoming a devata. Like if you want to become a devata, there is a qualification. Yamaraj, right? Yamaraj. What is the job description or the qualification to become a Yamaraj? How many here want to become Yamaraj in next life? Anybody here? It's a good position. You can punish. You can punish a lot of people, right? Yeah. What is the qualification to become Yamaraj? You should not be able to tolerate any pain. Any pain. If you see anybody in pain, you cannot tolerate that. When you're so merciful and so compassionate that you cannot see pain in anyone, At the extreme part, you are given the position of Yamaraj. Can you imagine Yamaraj how sad he feels whenever he gives the punishment? Whenever he gives the punishment to any living entity, when he's coming there to correct his consciousness, more than that person, Yamaraj suffers. This definition a lot of people, because Yamaraj is shown in our movies like usko tel mein dalo. ऐसे दिखाते हैं ना. Yamaraj is not like that. Yamaraj is always in pain, like क्यों आया फिर से पागल, why did you do that mess again? Last time only I put you in, refined oil. Now they put you in filter oil. He's very, very compassionate. Right? So we have a qualification for everything that we want to become. And what to speak of devotee? A devotee is so compassionate that he cannot see even his enemy ready to kill him. His enemy is ready to kill him, and he is ready to say, okay, you can kill me, but I cannot come forward and kill you. That's what exactly Arjuna does. He goes with all the reasons now. From verse number 28, you'll start hearing the 5 important reasons of Arjuna not doing the war. Right? So here is being explained that he wants to see who all came to kill me. Verse number 23. Yes, brother. Infallible means the one who never leaves his position. One who cannot be moved away from his position. If Krishna is a supreme personality of Godhead, even though he plays the role of a driver, he doesn't become anywhere low than being God. He is infallible. Achyuta. He is called Achyuta. Achyuta means infallible. Right? Even though whatever else you do, still you are what you are. Like our parents are infallible. Even though sometimes they behave like children for our happiness. But they still are parents. They still have to play the role of a parent. So they are infallible. But supreme infallible is Lord Krishna, who never falls, who never goes down in his position. Like that. Yeah? Okay. So we will go to the next verse. Text 23. What is the time? Text 23. Yotsmanam avekshaham. Yotsmanan aveksheham. Ya ete atra samagata. Ya ete atra samagata. Dhartarashtraya durubuddher. Dhartarashtraya durubuddher. Yuddhe priya chikirshava. Yuddhe priya chikirshava. Please repeat after me. Let me see those who have come here to fight, wishing to please the evil-minded son of the Dhritarashtra. So he wants to see who all has come to fight him. Purport. It was an open secret that Duryodhana wanted to usurp the kingdom of the Pandavas by evil plans in collaboration with his father, Dhritarashtra. Therefore, all persons who had joined the side of Duryodhana must have been birds of the same feather. Arjuna wanted to see them on the battlefield, therefore the fight was begun. Just to learn who they were, but he had no intention of proposing peace negotiations with them. It was also a fact that he wanted to see them to make an estimate of the strength which he had to face, although he was quite confident of victory because Krishna was sitting by his side. So Arjun Kayar nahi hai. He is not somebody who is going to run away from battlefield, but he wants to see 2 reasons. One, being a warrior, he wants to see who all is going to fight and how big the war army is. And as a devotee, he wants to see who all has come to fight with him. Right? Amazing part here is just few years before that, like 14 years before that, when Pandavas did Ratsur Yajna, the whole planet had agreed. The whole planet had agreed for them to be the emperors. Isn't it? Exactly 14 years later, 11 Akshohini Sena is standing against them saying, we are going to fight with you. So you can imagine the political situation even in those days. Politics is politics. It keeps changing. Party badalta rehte log. Again. But the amazing part, what Acharya explained, is Duryodhana was a very clever fellow. As soon as they went on Vanavas and he took over Indraprastha and indirectly the whole earth planet, he started doing a lot of charity and he started making a lot of relationships with a lot of people. He is a very good actor also, Duryodhana. Right? He went and developed so many good relationships and made them obliged to do the war when Pandavas come back. Right? That is the reason he had such a big army. And there were, obviously being Bhishma, he had such a great relations with a lot of people, being around Hastinapur. So they all also became part of the whole Shantanu family, Shantanu dynasty, had to be part of this war on the side of the Kauravas. Right? Like that. So anyway, actually, it is explained that who was the oldest person in the war? No, it is not Bhishma. That's what a lot of people think. It's Balhika. His name is Balhika. He is Shantanu's elder brother. Shantanu's elder brother. Bhishma's father is Shantanu. His elder brother is Balhika. Even Balhika was there in the war. And when Balhika was taking care of the region from Afghanistan through Europe, towards that side, he was given that planet, that side of the planet. And Shantanu was given the Bharatvarsha. Right? So they both were brothers. And then Balhika had a son, Somadatta, and his son Purishrava. That dynasty also was supporting in that 11 Akshohinis. Right? So there is a whole history of which all kingdoms were supporting. Right? So you can imagine, why Arjuna wants to see these people. Because they all are so, they were a family. Can you imagine your cousin brothers standing outside your door, planning to kill you Sunday morning? Right? Door kholte, tira, ready ho na chaku pakad ke. You can't imagine that, right? Can you imagine your grandfather holding a dhanush wand at you? You can't imagine. Grandfather means the sweetest person. Grandmother, grandfather, like that. But here Arjuna was facing something like this. Very difficult situation. And the loving relationships in those days were much, much more than today. They all grew up together. Even the 100 sons of Dhritarashtra, even though they were supporting Duryodhana, but they were like brothers with whom they played. They played their childhood together. For Pandavas, it's not an easy situation to do the war. Like they've shared snacks together, they have played games together, they slept together, they went on picnics together, they learned together, ate together, so many things they did together. And just because of the war, now they're standing on the other side and Pandavas are on this side and they're supposed to kill them. Right? Just because of, so Arjuna really wanted to see them. But there is one mistake Arjuna did, that he wanted to see them. Because when you see them, your senses will make you weak. Right? See, when you should think and act, when you start seeing, you cannot do the right thing. Right? People say, right, mere aankhon mein dekh ke bol. If you see in his eyes, you cannot tell. You cannot be angry anymore. That's why when people are angry, you'll see that. Nobody sees in your eyes and becomes angry. Udhar dekh ke, they'll talk. They'll not look at you if they really want to punish you. Because soul is there in your eyes. The entire body is like a plastic. But eyes depict soul, the life, the living force you can see in the eyes. Your eyes will never tell a lie. They say that. So here, Arjuna did that mistake of telling Krishna, Krishna, take me, I want to see them. Right? Let's go to the next shloka. Shloka number 24. Any questions? Shloka number 23? No? Okay. Shloka number 24. Sanjay Uvacha. Evam yukto rishikesho Gudakeshena Bharata Senayoru Bhayoru Madhye Stapayitva Rathottam Ratottamam. Yes. Translation. Repeat after me. Sanjaya said, O descendant of Bharata, having thus been addressed by Arjuna, Lord Krishna drew up the fine chariot in the midst of the armies of both parties. Yeah. small request, on the carpet you can keep Bhagavad Gita, but below, keep, maybe on the bag you can keep. It's a holy book, you can keep the bag below, and on that bag you can keep don't keep Bhagavad Gita on the ground, just because it's a very holy book. Right? It's equal to Murti of Krishna. Yeah. So, O descendant of Bharata, having thus addressed by Arjuna, Lord Krishna drew up the chariot in the midst of both the parties. Purport. In this verse, Arjuna is referred as Gudakesha. Gudaka means sleep, and one who conquers sleep is called Gudakesha. Sleep also means ignorance. So Arjuna conquered both sleep and ignorance because of his friendship with Krishna. As a great devotee of Krishna, he could not forget Krishna even for a moment, because that is the nature of a devotee. Either in waking or in sleep, a devotee of the Lord can never be free and from thinking of Krishna's name, form, qualities, and pastimes. Thus, a devotee of Krishna can conquer both sleep and ignorance simply by thinking of Krishna constantly. This is called Krishna consciousness or samadhi. As Rishikesha, or the director of the senses and mind of every living entity, Krishna could understand Arjuna's purpose in placing the chariot in the midst of the armies. Thus, he did so and spoke as follows. Right? So, Krishna knows, obviously, some problem is going to occur now. Right? Arjuna, what is Arjuna's heart going to have? What is it going to go through? What questions is going to ask? Krishna already knows. So, still he took him in between the armies, right? And as Arjuna asked. So here his name is mentioned as Gudakesha. Gudakesha, as the purport explains, the one who Gudaka means the one who can conquer his sleep. It's explained when he was being trained, even in the nights he would go and play his arrows. He would practice even during the night time. Right? Dronacharya never told to practice in the night, but he would go and do that. In the night time also he would hit the arrows. Right? That's why Arjuna is a very, very dangerous warrior. Even in the night time when everything is dark, he can still hit on the spot, like without any problem. Right? And it is also explained Gudakesha also means that one who conquered sleep, sleep also represents ignorance. It is explained mode of goodness people are mostly awake. Passion are like awake and running. But people in the mode of ignorance, tamoguna, they always like to sleep. Right? Sleeping. You'll see a lot of people, if they find a reason, they go and sleep. Find an opportunity, they go and sleep. Means tamoguna is too much conquering them. Why sleep tamoguna? Because you're wasting your time. See, we are all, the date of death for all of us is already there. Whether you like it or not, the date is already there. Date time is already written. With every passing day, with every sunset, you are one day closer to death. Right? And how much have you used this time for self-realization? How much have you used this time to make sure you understand your birth? How much have you used this time to make sure you plan for your next life? That really matters. Only spiritual people speak like that. Right? Planning for your next life. Right? We are doing that anyway right now. Planning for your next job, you are planning. Next house, you are planning. Right? Planning for your next thing in life, you are planning. But why not plan for the next life? Next life is going to come. There is no doubt it is going to. You are going to die. How many here can guarantee you are not going to die? All you are going to leave your bodies. There is no doubt about it. Right? So somebody who doesn't sleep too much and uses his time for self-realization is also called Gudakesha. The one who has conquered ignorance. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya. The one who comes out of ignorance by the grace of Guru. Right? And the one who spends time on that. Spirituality is a very important activity, more than anything in the planet. Any material activity, spirituality is important because this tells you the reason of your existence. Why you have taken birth and what is the most important thing to do. Right? And Gudakesha also means he is very dear to all the devatas. Gudakesha, Akesha. A means Vishnu. Right? Ka means Brahma. Isha means Shiva, Lord Shiva. So his prayer is very dear to all the three great Guna avatars. They are called Guna avatars. The Supreme Lord, when he manifests in different avatars. We all know Dasha avatars. Right? Dasha avatars is one. Actually, Dasha avatar is Stotram. I'm busy. बेटा पीछे आके बैठो वहां पे या वहां जाके खेल मैं देख लीजिए I think we should get a color pencil or something like that. Yeah. I remember. That's okay. That's okay. As long as you're all okay, we will go ahead. Yeah. So basically, yeah, Guna Akesha. Akesha means is very, very dear to all the three Guna Avataras. So I was saying Dashavatara. Right? Dashavatara is a stotram. A lot of people in India think that, Dashavataras are only 10 avatars of Vishnu. No, they are just one type of avatars. Right? Dasha Avatara, Stotra, is written by Jaydev Goswami. 1,000 years back, he has written a poem called Dashavatara Stotram, where he praised the 10 avatars. And in the 10 avatars, there is no Krishna. Krishna is not avatar, he is avatari. Right? Which we'll discuss going forward little ahead. That's why I wanted to finish the SSR, because at one point I'll explain what is the difference between Krishna, Vishnu, and Narayan. There is a big important thing that you all have to learn. So, Guna Avataras, including the three gunas. What are the three gunas? Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. So there you have Vishnu, Brahma, and Shiva. And there is Manvantara Avataras. Every 100 and certain number of millenniums, all the jobs are changed. At that time also Manvantara Avataras come. Right? And there is Yuga Avataras. For each Yuga there is an avatar. Right? So like the Yuga Avataras. So this Guna Avataras. So Arjuna is called Akesha because all the Guna Avataras love him. Guna Akesha. There is whole meaning behind that word. Yeah. There's a lot more, but we'll go forward. And Guda, of course, means sweet. Right? Sweet. He is very sweet. Guda Akesha. He is very sweet to Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Like that. Okay. Shloka number 25. Please repeat after me. Bhishma Drona Pramukhata. Bhishma Drona Pramukhata. Sarvesham cha mahikshitam. Sarvesham cha mahikshitam. Vacha partha pasyaitan. Vacha partha pasyaitan. Samavetan kurun iti. Samavetan kurun iti. Repeat after me. In the presence of Bhishma, Drona, and all the other chieftains of the world, the Lord said, just behold Partha, all the Kurus assembled here. So this was the first sentence by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, if you observe. Till now Krishna has not spoken, but this is the first sentence where he is actually speaking. But Acharyas don't consider that this is the first sentence he spoke. I mean, they know that he has spoken, but the first sentence he spoke in 2.6, when second chapter 6 sloka, when he actually starts speaking to Arjuna, where he starts instructing Bhagavad Gita. It's more like a reciprocation. He brought Arjuna in between and said, "Acha, dekh lo, jisko dekhna hai." Just told, okay, you wanted to see in between the armies, you want to see, go ahead and see whom he wants to see. Right? But still, there is a lot of meaning behind that. See, Krishna is saying, okay, let's read the purport first. Let's see how big is the purport. Yeah, we'll read the purport first. As the super soul of all living entities, Lord Krishna could understand what was going on in the mind of Arjuna. The use of the word Hrishikesha in this connection indicates that he knew everything. And the word Partha, or the son of Kunti or Pritha, is also similarly significant in reference to Arjuna. As a friend, he wanted to inform Arjuna that because Arjuna was the son of Pritha, the sister of his own father Vasudeva, he had agreed to be a charioteer of Arjuna. Now, what did Krishna mean when he told Arjuna, behold the Kurus? Did Arjuna want to stop there and not fight? Krishna never expected such things from the son of his aunt Pritha. The mind of Arjuna was thus predicted by the Lord in friendly joking. So Krishna plays nice jokes also. What is he doing? He could have taken anywhere else Arjuna in between. See, army is so big, 11 Akshohin is maybe, 10 kilometers long. In 10 kilometers, where is Bhishma and Drona at one location? No? Bhishma and Drona at one location. Krishna deliberately took Arjuna right in front of Bhishma and Drona. Right? And he's telling, what is he telling? Bhishma Drona Pramukhana. Here is Bhishma and Drona. Now I brought you in, but look at them. Because Krishna knows what is the most weakest point of Arjuna. Among all the people, the most loving people that Arjuna had is Bhishma and Drona. He used to love them a lot, isn't it? So here, just to bring the weakness out. Whatever doubts he has, he wants all the doubts to come out. So he said, now is the weakest point. Now go ahead with your doubts, right? And sarvesham cha mahikshitam. Yeah. So everyone else. So here is saying, here is Bhishma and Drona and everyone else. Like that is saying, right? Here is Bhishma and Drona and everyone else. Because actually, indirectly, Krishna is also telling that everyone else is there only to assist both of them. They are the most important people. Everyone else is to assist both of them. Like that is speaking there. Yeah. Then Pasyaitan. Yeah. Pasyaitan means to see. Yeah. Then Pramukhatha. Pramukhatha means Pramukh. Pramukh means what? Important. Yeah. So he's telling Bhishma and Drona are the most important. And by the way, you look at them first. Yeah. All the Kurus. He's also telling all the Kurus. He's just not mentioning. Whom among them they are important. They are important among Pandavas also, Kauravas also. They are the most important people. Even though he's addressing that side, he's actually addressing the entire Kuru Sena. Like that. Yeah. Now, what is the problem in somebody seeing? What is the problem in somebody seeing? This is part of SSR, but I'll have to cover a little bit here. What is the problem do you think Arjuna can face by just seeing his relatives? Anybody?
Constrained by the three steps are there. Constrained by the eye, what we see. Rather, our knowledge will be constrained by the eye.
The knowledge will be constrained. And anybody else? We'll cover that in detail a little bit. Yeah, thank you. What is the problem in seeing? You'll become more emotional. है कि नहीं? देखते ही मतलब पहले ही नजर में finish. Yeah, you look there and you're like, oh, my grandfather, my guru, like that you'll feel, right? See, actually, the biggest cheaters that you have is your two eyes. These two eyes will cheat you like anything. You think something is beautiful, but that is not the real beauty that eye shows. And we actually are very, very confident about our eyes, isn't it? मैं देखूंगा तभी मैं मानूंगा. Like that you tell. But how much can you see? A lot of people say that, I believe in God. I don't believe in God because I can't see him. They say, I'll believe in God only when I see him. Like that. People argue like that. But our Shastra explains that you can see more with your ears than with your eyes. Ears are more purer for you to get knowledge than your eyes. But we rely more on eyes. That is a problem. There is in Vedas, there are three ways of acquiring knowledge. Please repeat after me. 3 ways of acquiring knowledge. I'll go in this detail is there in one of the SSR sessions, but in brief, I'm going to tell you. First is Pratyaksha Praman. Can you all say Pratyaksha Praman? Pratyaksha Praman. Second is Anumana Praman. Anumana Praman. Third is Shabda Praman. Shabda Praman. Yes. Pratyaksha means I want to see with my eyes. Pratyaksha. Aksha. Aksha means eyes. The meaning Sanskrit word Aksha means eyes. In front of me with my eyes, when I see Pratyaksha Praman, then only I'll believe. But how much are our eyes, perfect? Can you tell who is standing behind that wall? Everybody see that side? दिखता है कुछ? नहीं दिखता है. Does it mean nobody is there behind that wall? You cannot see. Your senses are limited. You cannot see, right? Sometimes, there is a plane that goes in the air and suddenly it disappears. It didn't disappear. It went behind the cloud. It doesn't mean the plane itself is gone. That's foolishness, right? If somebody says, plane ko dekha, gayab ho gaya. Gayab nahi hua. Tu nahi dekh sakta. Isn't it? They are limited. And they're subject to illusion also. You can see it's water, it's not water. Sometimes very difficult to gauge what it is. They're subject to illusion, right? What other problem our senses have? Huh? They're limited and they're subject to illusion. Do they make mistakes? Full mistakes karte hain ki nahi? To error is human, they say no, right? So you will make mistakes. So your senses make mistakes also. And another big problem is they have a cheating propensity also. Meaning just because you saw it, you will not agree with anybody else. Because you want to prove yourself, your ego. will make you cheating propensity, right? Somebody said, this is the smallest thing, so I am telling this is the smallest thing. So he got a Nobel Prize also. That atom is the smallest thing. Then that fellow died, another person came and told, no, not atom. Neutron is the smallest thing. That fellow also got the, what is it, Nobel Prize. He also died. Next, somebody came, what is he saying? Nucleus is the smallest thing. Then he'll go further. Nobody will read Veda. Veda already says what is the smallest thing. Right? But this is how people will argue and say that just because my senses have seen something, that is true. But through senses, you cannot see God. You cannot. Even how can you see God? You can't see behind that wall. You can't see anything in the sky properly. You can't hear properly. There is a hertz beyond which you can't hear also. Like the sound is there, no? If I increase it beyond, I think 20,000 hertz is the maximum limit for your human ears. After that, if I increase the sound, it will be like, can't hear me anything. I'm speaking, but you can't hear me because sound is beyond. And if it's below certain hertz, also you can't hear. How many of you can tell what is the current right now going on in ZTV? ZTV में क्या आ रहा है अभी? You can't tell. But does it mean ZTV में कुछ नहीं आ रहा है? आ रहा है, कुछ तो आ रहा है. You are not able to catch the signals. Your senses are limited. You think that you are unlimited, but you are very limited. We are very, very limitedly given what we are given, right? So with this limited thing, when you are trying to make judgments, here is the important thing. With these limited senses, when you are trying to make judgments, you can go wrong. With your limited eyes, Arjuna said, with my limited eyes, I want to go and see them and make a decision whether or not I should do a war. He was obviously going to make a mistake. He should hear from Krishna that do the war as a duty. That is more important than going and seeing with his eyes. So Pratyaksha Praman, there is a problem. Anumana Praman means I will assess myself. Knowledge I will assess myself. I will buy Bhagavad Gita, घर पे बैठ के मैं पढ़ूंगा. कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आएगा. Because this is Go again. It only will come through disciplinic succession. Only when Ramanujacharya, Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya, great acharyas, when they reveal to you in parampara, you learn Bhagavad Gita. Otherwise, you cannot learn Bhagavad Gita. A lot of people did Bhagavad Gita. सब आता है. कुछ नहीं आता. कुछ समझ में नहीं आता. What is the goal of Bhagavad Gita? They don't know what is the goal of Bhagavad Gita. What is Krishna trying to achieve? We'll know that because we are repeating in parampara. Anumana Praman doesn't do it. Third is Shabda Praman. Shabda Praman means you sit down in front of a guru and the guru is Tattva Darshi. Tattva means complete. Darshi means knowledge. So he's Tattva Darshi. He knows everything because he has heard from his guru. And he has heard from his guru. Right? So that's perfect knowledge. It never gets deviated. Actually, the third session of SSR that I wanted you to finish this week deals with this aspect of hearing the knowledge in disciplinic succession. Evam parampara praptam evam rajarisho vidhu sakalena mahata yoganashta parantava. This is the sloka in 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna explains that this knowledge can only be understood in parampara. Just because you know English or Hindi or Sanskrit doesn't mean that you'll understand Bhagavad Gita. Okay? So here Krishna has taken him between and in front of Bhishma and Drona, he made him stand and he said, okay, now decide what you want to do. Right? So we'll go to shloka number 26. Tatra pasyat stitan partha pitran atha pitamaha acharyan matulan bhratran putran pautran sakhim tata swasuran suhrudas chaiva senayor vayorapi. So he's telling all the relationships here. Repeat after me. There Arjuna could see within the midst of the armies both the parties, his fathers, grandfathers, teachers, maternal uncles, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, and also his father-in-law and well-wishers. Right? So in between, he could see everybody. Now Krishna is not only seeing this side. Remember, Arjuna is not just seeing one side. He did not ask for Bhagavad Gita questions just looking at the Kauravas. He also looked backside. He looked both the armies in between. See, if he wanted to only see the Kauravas, he doesn't have to ask Arjuna, take me in between. He can stand this side itself and see. You think Arjuna can't see it so far? I told you once, that you can shoot an arrow like miles away and goes through trunks of a tree and kill an elephant. That was the power Arjuna had. He doesn't have to go that side and see. He wanted to be in between and see both the sides. The entire Kuru dynasty, my brothers, his cousins, everybody together. Right? Purport. On the battlefield, Arjuna could see all kinds of relatives. He could see persons like Purishrava, who were his father's contemporaries, grandfathers. Purishrava is like Pandu level, right? Pandu level. And Somadatta is Pandu's father, Vichitravirya. Right? Vichitravirya's father level is Bhishma. At that level, you have a next level person. And above Bhishma is Shantanu. At that level, he has Bahilika and all the other warriors. Right? So he had so many levels of people. He had so many levels of people that he was seeing there. As I was telling you. Yeah. Who were his father's contemporaries, grandfathers Bhishma and Somadatta. Teachers like Dronacharya and Kripacharya, maternal uncles like Shalya and Shakuni, brothers like Duryodhana, sons like Lakshmana, friends like Ashwathama, well-wishers like Kritavarma, etc. He could see also the armies which contained many of his friends. Yeah. So he could see his entire relatives. People are very attached to relatives, isn't it? Mera cousin, mera bhai, mera ye, mera wo. See, there is a story, where a person had 4 wives, right? So the first wife was the most responsible wife, always trying to tell him what is good for him. He would never like that kind of wife. Who wants to hear a wife who is telling good for you? Right? You want to have a wife whom you want to enjoy with. Second wife used to be like pretty favorable, very much friendly. Third wife was even more dear to him because that represented, her beauty and all that. And then fourth wife is the wife who will always hang around with him wherever he goes, right? So he would always be in love with the fourth wife, attached to the third wife, affectionate to the second wife, ignorant to the first wife, very ignorant to the first wife. So all these wives, actually, as per Shastra, represent, the first wife represents your soul, your Atma, your Paramatma sitting in your, Atma and Paramatma, right? Whom you always ignore. And the second wife is your friends. Third wife is your properties. And fourth wife is your relatives. Right? When you die, and all of us will die one day, there is no doubt whether we'll die or not. This is exactly that's going to happen. You will be on the deathbed, your dead body is kept there, and you're lying down, your Atma is sitting somewhere saying, what did I do? And then you're looking at your relatives. And after some time, relatives will start talking. Time. When is it going to happen? My dear cousin has come. Oh, that cousin has not come. Why did not come? You are sitting there. That fellow doesn't even care whether you're dead or not. He'll just come there and stand like this. So when your body is going out, right, in the house itself, your relatives start leaving. I'll go now. I have some work. I'll go now. I'll go now. I'll go now. All your relatives will leave. 2, 3 people will be left. Right? That is the reality of life. The relatives for which you think they are going to be, they are so related. Actually, they are not related. Bodily, they are related to you through blood. That's all it is. And when you go outside, when your dead body is taken outside that gate, the third wife is also gone. What is the third wife? Your wealth. Your entire wealth. You're gone. So where is your wealth? The very house that you're so proud of is not yours. How many of you know that if you die in this Mayam Krishe, where your dead body will be kept? You think they'll allow you in your 2 crore, 3 crore flat? They'll not allow it. It has to be outside in a parking lot. That's your situation. Don't be proud of your houses. I have seen in America, in New Jersey, one 6-bedroom villa, one of my friend had. So when he died, in accident he died. He used to show, I have this bed, I bought this from here, I bought this from Brazil, this particular thing from here, that particular 6 rooms. 2 children, 6 bedroom, 1 wife. Right? He was kept outside. he was not even allowed to sleep on that big mattress that he was so proud of. The 2.5 feet mattress. Have you seen 2.5 feet mattresses? They have not yet come to India. Good. In US, you have the 2.5 feet mattress. You sleep on you literally go up and down like that. People like to different beds are so high. Our beds are like this high. In US, the bed is so high. Literally fall in that like that. All fascinating things. But do you think your wife will allow your dead body to be kept on that mattress? निकालो जल्दी निकालो गंदा हो जाएगा तो carpet गंदा हो जाएगा उसको निकालो बाहर. Dead bodies are always kept outside. Have you seen that? You are brought outside the house, no matter what wealth you have. So third wife is who? Your properties, all of them outside. Once you are outside the gate, you are lawaris. You don't have any properties, right? Second wife will come till your burial ground. Who is that second wife? Your friends. They'll come to the burial ground. Hey, acha tha re. My good friend has died. But after the burial ground, even they leave. Who is the one who will always stay with you no matter what you are? Paramatma. Of course, soul is you, but Paramatma. Krishna will stay with you wherever you go. He's sitting inside. What is that? Kshirodakshay Vishnu. In the form Kshirodakshay Vishnu. Sitting inside. And it's like, okay. So whatever you did, you did. This life also you did not do what I asked you to do, self-realization. Again, you are going to get one more body. Okay, I'm going to be with you in that body. So Krishna never leaves us. Even though whichever body we take, next life we can be a human body, next life we can be a pig's body or a dog's body. Even a worm in a stool. If you are a worm in a stool also, in that warm body also, Krishna will come and sit beside you, saying that, Abhi to sun le. At least now realize that, the cycle of birth and death is meaningless. Come out of this cycle. Let's go back to our eternal home. Right? So Krishna never leaves us. So that is the beauty of Krishna. Yeah. So the relatives, Arjuna was looking at all those relatives. Of what use were those relatives? Did the relatives help you? It is told the right test, Chanakya Niti, you should clean. If somebody has interest in Chanakya, you should learn. Very, very blunt things Chanakya speaks. Very blunt. Sometimes a lot of people become uncomfortable hearing to Chanakya Niti. He says, if you want to test somebody, there are certain things one should do. You want to test your relatives. When you have legal cases on you, you'll know who is your best relative. If you have legal cases on you, Chanakya says. Hundreds of ways of Chanakya says. You want to test your wife, you will know how good your wife is when you lose all your wealth. How much she'll support you in all the testing times. I'm not saying wives don't support, but that is the test for the best wife. When all the income is gone and that time you're testing. You want to test your disciple. You want to test your Shishya. Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. But when the test will happen, when you give an instruction to your disciple. When you give instruction, then you will know whether he's really wanting to be a disciple or a natak kar raha tha. The Guru is very nice until he gives the instruction. As soon as I will do this from tomorrow. Listen, Kali Yuga, there is no concept of Guru. Guru ho hi sakta Kali Yuga mein. Right? So there are some things that Chanakya has told. Anyway, so here Arjuna is facing all his relatives on the battlefield, right? His cousins, his father-in-laws, his brother-in-laws, everybody there. And what is Krishna doing? Laughing. Like a khada kar diya, chal beta, dekh jisko dekhna hai. Right? Shloka number 27. Tan samikshya Sakaunteya Tan Shamikshasya Kaunteya Sarvan Bandhun Avasthitan Kripaya Parayavishto Visiddhan idam abbraveet. Yeah, translation, repeat after me. When the son of Kunti, Arjuna, saw all these different grades of friends and relatives, he became overwhelmed. with compassion and spoke thus. Right? Now Arjuna is going to speak. Now it will start. The Bhagavad Gita questioning will start. So here one of the words, kripaya, kripa. Kripa means by compassion. Right? Kripa and daya. They're two different words in Sanskrit. Right? In English is a funny language. We don't have many things in English. It's very difficult to even speak Shastra in English. It's the greatness of Srila Prabhupada that somehow he used English, to translate for all of us. Sanskrit has so many meanings. Daya and Kripa. Does anyone know the difference between Daya and Kripa? ये बहुत कृपालु हैं, ये बहुत दयालु हैं. You say dayalu and Kripa. Anyone? Kripa means only to your people. Daya means to everybody. Right? Daya means everybody you are compassionate. Sadhus are dayalu. Kripalu means only to your known people. I am very favorable to only these two. Only if they are taken care, I am very happy because I know them. But dayalu means you are completely daya. Anybody is suffering, you can't take it. That is the meaning of daya. So here, what is the word being used? Kripa or daya? Kripaya. Right? So here, deliberately, this word is being used that Arjuna is only looking at his relatives and becoming very affected. See, if he is dayalu, actually is dayalu, but for our sake, Arjuna is acting all that. But understand, if he is dayalu, he would never stop the war because he is looking at the whole world's goodness. But he is stopping the war here and trying to look at his relatives, and he is going to ask questions that will not do the war. Why? Because it's kripalu. He is only looking at his relatives. Krishna is looking at the whole world, saying, do the war because this world deserves to, the world deserves this war to happen. Because one of the main reasons the war has to happen because a woman has been insulted. Draupadi has been insulted in Rajya Sabha. And if you're going to pardon this now, this insult is going to continue. It cannot be. It cannot be tolerated. Krishna is very clear. He already told Draupadi, all the people who saw you being disrobed, their wives will cry on their dead bodies. And that's what happened. He already told her, don't even worry. Draupadi, he actually used to call her Krishne. Another name of Draupadi is Krishne, the very dear friend of Krishna. So Krishne, everybody who was there in the Rajya Sabha, don't worry. Their wives are going to cry on their dead bodies. After that, he told, okay, I'm going to go and talk about peace resolution now. So Draupadi also was very confused. 1 second. Class Yeah. So how Krishna can be so difficult to understand, right? I mean, just imagine he's telling Draupadi, oh, sabhi unke shav pe roenge. Arjuna, I'll go and negotiate whether war will happen or not. Right? And that's the reason one of the places Krishna tells to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, he says, please go and tell everybody that my devotee never perishes. He tells that. Right? What is that shloka? My devotee never perishes. Name Bhakta Pranashyati. Yes, Name Bhakta Pranashyati. Let me read the whole shloka. There is an easy way to remember shlokas. You can go at the back of the Bhagavad Gita. Even if you remember one line, Prabhupada knows people will only remember one line going forward. You can find the whole shloka. Right? So it's from page number. A second. Yeah. So here page number 780 onwards, you can see 760. Name Bhakta Pranashyati. Can somebody tell me the shloka number? Name Bhakta. Come on, and this shloka I forgot completely. Kind of making you learn how to search also here. Let me go to Google Guru. Could you see it, Prabhuji? Name Bhakta Pranashyati. Yes. Name Bhakta Pranashyati. Yes. 931. How come it is not being? So 931, 9th chapter, 31st shloka. Yes. 9th chapter, 31st shloka. Name Bhakta Pranashyati. Kshiparam bhavati dharmatma sasvat chantim nigacchati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Here is saying, he quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. He's telling that. What is he saying? Hey, Arjun, declare it that my devotee never perishes. Never perishes, my devotee's endeavor will never go waste. Why is, now my question to all of you, Krishna can also tell that, right? My devotee never perishes. He can tell that as Bhagavad Gita. Why is it in Kaunteya Pratijani? Hey, Arjuna, you tell. You tell. Huh? Why? That's the question. Why is he asking his devotee to tell?
Others believe that other students tell.
Huh?
Other teacher telling it, other student telling it.
That Bhagavad Gita is speaking. Everybody have to believe Krishna. Whatever he's telling. Why is he telling Arjuna? You tell that my devotee never perishes. Huh? Krishna, we cannot trust Krishna, very difficult. He can tell, he can go back as God also. he told Bhishma, I'll not lift weapons. Did he lift weapon or no? He lifted. Not that he doesn't, don't think that Krishna goes back on his word. That's not the right way to understand, but he is capable of. Right? To make it work, he can do anything. There is no dharma for God. Dharma is for all of us. Right? Whatever he says, dharmam tu sakshat, bhagavad pranitam. He establishes dharma. Doesn't mean he has to follow dharma. He can do anything. He is God. So, why is he telling his devotee? Because he says, if my devotee says, I will definitely follow it. I'm not going to make my devotee's word go in vain. For Krishna, his devotee is more important than his own word. That is the reason, you go to a guru. If a guru says, who gives bhakti to us? Guru gives. And a guru says, Krishna, give him bhakti. Krishna will immediately give. If you go to Krishna, he may or may not give. But if a guru says, it will happen. If a devotee says, it will happen. And he'll never go back. Right? That is the reason he says, Arjuna, you declare that, my devotee will never perish. Right? Then it will never happen that his devotee will ever perish. His devotee perishing means he'll never lose. He'll never lose in anything, in any endeavor. Right? So that's the beauty of why Krishna speaks what he speaks. Right? So here also, in 27th shloka, so he has brought him in between. He's brought him in between the relatives. What is the time? Yeah, almost 10. Should we go a couple of shlokas more or should we stop here? Yeah? Continue a little more. Today is Ekadashi. Yeah? Okay. So Prasadam has come. And I'm an obstacle between you and Prasadam. From here, the next shlokas from 28 onwards till the end are all the 5 reasons of Arjuna's not doing the work. Right? So first reason is compassion. So from shloka number 28 to 30 is compassion. You can write 28 to 30 is compassion. Only on compassion he tells, I'm not going to do the work. Right? Shloka number 28 to 30. 28. Arjuna Vacha Dristvemam Swajanam Krishna Yutsum Samupaschitam Siddhanti Mam Gatrani Siddhanti Mama Gatrani Mukam Cha Parishusyati Mukam Cha Parishusyati. Repeat after me. Arjuna said, my dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up. Right? Some body gives some emotions. How many of you have felt your mouth drying up? Yeah, I'll tell you when you feel that. When you are trying to go and convince somebody, you're trying to go and tell somebody what is important, and the person is not ready to listen. Right? Your mouth dries up. Next time you observe that. When you want to tell something very important and you're struggling to, immediately your mouth will dry up. So exactly that's what is happening with Arjuna here. Right? His mouth is drying up. Yeah. So, purport. So repeat after me. No, I think you read the translation, right? Feel the limbs of mouth drying up. Yeah. My dear Krishna, seeing my friends and ladies present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up. Purport. Any man, you can underline the first 4 lines here. Any man to godly qualities. Any man who has genuine devotion to the Lord has all the good qualities which are found in godly persons or in demigods. Whereas the non-devotee, however advanced he may be in the material qualifications by education and culture, lacks godly qualities. What does it mean? It's a very bold statement Prabhupada is saying. Yeah. It's a very bold statement he's saying. He's saying that any man with genuine devotion is a perfect person. He's saying devotee is a perfect person. I'll tell you what happened once. I was giving a talk in Bits Pilani. There was some managerial talk they asked me to give. So in that flow, when I go to Bits Pilani, I don't wear tilak. I go in a blazer and all that. So I'm giving the talk, and that's how it is. You're not supposed to speak anything on religion. Because stupid secularism in this country, we are stopped from speaking a lot of things. But anyway, to intro, I was speaking that, and in between, in that flow, I forgot where I am. So there are almost 400 students there. I'll send you that little clip of that talk that I was giving. So in between, I just told, if you're not a devotee, you're a demon. And then I realized, what did I do? Right? Immediately, our secular, what is that? Secular hero started raising their eyebrows. You know who is secular, right? Not Muslims, not Christians. Only Hindus. There's only ones who believe that they're secular. So they stood up. My student stood up there. Sir, what did you tell? They said, sir, what did you tell? I told, what did you hear? They told, sir, you said if you're not devotee, you're a demon. You said like that. I said, yes, I told like that. Sir, can you explain how can you say like that? Does it mean I have to be a devotee? Otherwise, I'm a demon? Is it not like pushing religion? Is it not like blah, 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 jik, 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 bura, chal ho gaya. 400 students are looking at him. Just imagine. And I'm standing there. The person who called me to give the lecture is like, "Tune kya kiya?" And I said, okay, I'm going to tell you the answer now. You want to hear the answer I told? First thing I did is I took my bottle and I started drinking water. Because I get more time to think what should I answer. And while drinking the water, I just told Krishna, please help me. Because I don't know what I'm going to speak. Now you have to speak. Because in the flow, I told, if you're not a demon, if you're not a devotee, you're a demon. I told it already. It's over. Khatam ho gaya. Ab isko kaise defend karna? I don't know how to defend. Krishna, you help me. Literally, Krishna help me. Only otherwise, when I started speaking, I just closed my eyes and said, okay, Krishna, you speak. Then I asked him, do you love your mother? That was the question I asked. He said, yes, I love my mother. Are you a devotee of your mother? He said, yes, I'm a devotee of my mother. If you are not a devotee of your mother, what are you? He said, I'm a bad person. That's what I told. You're a demon. He was confused. Right? Then I asked, do you love Mother Earth? Do you love Mother Earth? He said, yes. Do you take care of Mother Planet Earth? Yes. Are you a devotee of Mother Planet Earth? Yes. If you don't take care of Earth, what are you called? He only told demon, sir. That's what it is, demon. Somehow, then I said, Krishna, thank you very much. It happens sometimes in the flow, but today's people, they are so bent upon not accepting to be a devotee. Right? Just because your Prime Minister is a devotee now, if anybody is trying to be favorable to him, they're tagging them as Bhakta. Bhakta this, Bhakta this. So fanatic, so fanatic. What is wrong in being a devotee? And what does it mean to be a devotee? Somebody who is grateful. Somebody who is thankful. Are we all devotees here? We are devotees. Are you not grateful to anybody in your life? Devotee, devoted. Right? You're grateful to your husband, your wife, your children, your parents, your society. And that the beauty of Sanatana Dharma culture is the whole culture is sitting upon being grateful. When you're grateful, you tell Bhumata. When you're grateful, you tell Gau Mata. When you're grateful, you say Guru Mata. When you're grateful, you say My Mata, the one who gave birth to me. When you're grateful, you say Raja Mata, right? King's wife. When you're grateful, you say Brahmana Mata, wife of a Brahmana. Right? 7 mothers we have. 7 mothers, not one mother. Right? And the basis of all these mothers being called as mothers is gratefulness. Is there anything wrong in that? Nothing wrong in that. We see mother in everybody. We are grateful to a river also. That this river is coming and I'm getting water. I'm grateful to the river. Yamuna, Ganga, Saraswati. You know, when we start any yajna in our house, what does the Brahmana say? The first location, Google location finder. What does it say, bro? Bharata Varshe, Jambu Dvipe, Bharata Kande, Godavari, Krishna Madhye. We are exactly where? Where are we? Between Godavari and Krishna. Right? We are being grateful in everything we are saying. Where are we? Is because of the greatness of all these. Right? That is our culture. Our culture is to be grateful. Right? Meaningfully grateful, not fanatically or what do you call that? Just we ignorantly grateful. We are not ignorantly grateful. We are very meaningfully grateful to everything. To everything that, like, we all should be grateful to the devotees who have sponsored today's Prashadam. Right? Are we all grateful? Let's say Haribol. Haribol. Yes, they all have come forward. Somebody's birthday, somebody's anniversary. People are coming forward. Let us serve everyone. This is being grateful. I've been doing these sessions for many years now. So far, it never happened that a satsang was not sponsored. It was always sponsored. Next week, is it sponsored? It will be sponsored. It will be. Because people are grateful. When you have gratitude, that is everything. Lord Ram tells in Ramayana, I can forgive anybody of any sin. I can forgive anybody. Ram means the one who forgives. Right? If you go to Ram, he will always forgive you. And Ram himself is telling, I will forgive anybody of anything. But one thing he'll never forgive is a person who is ungrateful. Krishna doesn't tolerate ungratefulness. If you go to God and tell me, my parents are not important, you think Krishna will like it? What did Pundarik do? He told Krishna, you stand outside, I'm taking care of my parents. I'm taking care of my parents, you stand outside. And Krishna didn't tell, hey, I am your parents' parent, I've come here. No, he didn't say that. He was so much happy that my devotee is taking care of his parents. He stood outside like this. And he became bitter. Right? And he's so happy to, for eternity, he's telling, my devotee is serving his parents, and I am here waiting for him. Right? That is it. After getting spirituality, after becoming spiritual, if you're not able to reflect that love on your spouse, on your parents, on your children, then what is the use of that spirituality? Religion should teach you to be grateful. When you're grateful, your devotion starts. That is the greatest quality of being grateful. Right? When you're grateful, you automatically become humble. Humility doesn't need to be practiced. Only thing you should learn is be grateful. You should teach our children to become grateful. Right? If your children these days come and complain, my teacher is not good, this is not good, my school is not good, don't entertain all that nonsense. Sit with them and tell, are you grateful to your teacher or no? Right? Are you grateful to the institution or no? What have you done? That is our culture. What I get, is Western culture, cultureless culture, whatever you call it. What I get. Villages. Are we grateful to villages? We should be grateful to villages. Cities take, villages give. If villages are removed, everybody starts taking. Where will you get our food from? Data science will create khichdi. It will create khichdi, data khichdi. But then will it feed you? No. Right? Be grateful to villages. Stop accumulating. Start giving. Right? So I would like to introduce one Srinivas Reddy Garu here. So he can please get up. So I requested Prabhuji to come here. Thank you, Prabhuji. So Prabhuji is heading the committee of Padmanabha Swami Temple behind the Lanco Hills. You know that place, Padmanabha Swami Temple? A lot of people don't know. Yeah. So thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah. So he said, I'm trying to get some place in that place so we can have a very nice temple, Krishna temple, and we can have our satsangs in that place. This place is very expensive now. So Prabhuji is going to help us, Why? Because they are grateful. He actually takes care of many cows there. 17 cows. Very good. On the hill. Next time you go towards Lanco Hills, you're going towards Lanco Hills, you take a U-turn and then there is a way to go up the hill. Right? Unfortunately, a lot of lover birds and all, they go that side of the hill. That is the area they like to go. But you have to cross that and go a little further down. There is a Padmanabha Swami temple right on the hill. And it is explained at one time the Mughal emperor saw this temple and he became very envious. That this temple is much better than my fort, like that. He literally sent the people to break the entire temple. Even now, if you go and see, the whole pieces of temple is scattered everywhere. Many, but they have protected the Vigraha. It's Padmanabha Swami Vigraha. Krishna sleeping like that on the bed. So that Vigraha is still there. It is there and they protected under a cave. They literally kept the Vigraha inside. It's a Swayambhu Vigraha, meaning not crafted, automatically came. Yeah. So it is there inside, and so now they are building a temple to bring out that Vigraha and establish that. That will be one of the best temples, very close to all of us. Right? It's a very important spot. When you go and stand on that place, you can literally see the whole high-tech city or this side of the Gachibowli and financial district. It's very high, very high. So Prabhuji said he'll come here today. He literally, is well qualified, everything, but he's staying there, making sure the temple construction is going on, making sure that the cows are being taken care, like that. So there are still good people on this planet. That is the reason we are able to see some good things happening. So anyway, we'll finish this shloka and we'll go ahead with, So purport. Please underline the first 4 lines as I said. Any man who has genuine devotion to the Lord has all good qualities which are found in godly persons or in the demigods. Whereas the non-devotee, however advanced he may be in material qualifications by education and culture, lacks godly qualities. As such, Arjuna, just after seeing his kinsmen, friends and relatives on the battlefield, was at once overwhelmed by compassion for them who had so decided to fight amongst themselves. As far as soldiers were concerned, he was sympathetic from the beginning, but he felt compassion even for the soldiers of the opposite party, foreseeing their imminent death. And while he was so thinking, the limbs of his body began to quiver, and his mouth became dry. He was more or less astonished to see their fighting spirit. Practically, the whole community, all blood relatives of Arjuna, had come to fight with him. This overwhelmed a kind of a devotee like Arjuna, although it is not mentioned here, still one can easily imagine that not only were Arjuna's bodily limbs quivering and his mouth drying out, but he was also crying out of compassion. Please underline these last 2 sentences. Such symptoms in Arjuna were not due to weakness, but due to his soft-heartedness, a characteristic of a pure devotee of the Lord. It is said, therefore, yes, Bhagavati akinchana sarvair gunaistatra samasate sura harau abhaksha abhaktasya kuto mahat guna mano ratha nasati de bhavato bhahi. One who has unflinching translation, one who has unflinching devotion for the personality of Godhead has all the good qualities of the demigods, but one who is not a devotee of the Lord has only one material qualification that are of little value. This is because he is hovering on the mental plane and is certain to be attracted by the glaring material energy. Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 18th chapter, 12th verse. So we'll stop here, but I'd like to end with the understanding of why what devotee gives is more important than anybody else. I gave the example in SSR also, some of you might already know. So if you have attended, then don't answer, but others who have not attended can answer. Just imagine you're going in a car and there is, say, imagine that you are like 35, 40 years old for now. I know there are some of you who are very young. You had a college friend who was very, very wealthy, right? And the college friend is standing in that bus stop. And you just cross your car and then you felt that I think he is your friend. You felt that he is your friend, that wealthy friend of the college, right? And then you just stopped your car, adjusted your mirror and said, hey, ye to Ramesh hai. He's Ramesh, the billionaire Ramesh, right? Who used to have so much money, who used to spend on his friends, who used to take us out to hotels, everything during college days. He's the same Ramesh. How come he's standing with an old shirt and an old pant, that too in a bus stop, as if he lost everything? In those days, he used to go in Benz, right? So you look at Ramesh in that situation. And then what would you do? What would be your reaction? In the interest of, actually, I like to do this like a quiz. What would you do? What would you do? Everybody would give some answer. Would you just leave him and go? Pata nahi kyun bekar mein? No, many of us will stop. So somebody will say, maybe he has not eaten for a long time. Let me give some prasadam, right? Let me take him home. Somebody might say, let me give him some money, or let me give good clothes to him, right? Let me keep him in my house for some time, or let me find a job for him so that he can make his own money and become a better person. He looks to be jobless. These are all the good thoughts that we all get, right? What is the problem with all these thoughts? There is one common problem with all these thoughts. All these are limited and temporary, isn't it? If I give good food to him, tomorrow morning again he'll ask, what about my breakfast? Isn't it? If I give good clothes to him, the clothes will also go after some time. He again asks, I need clothes to gain. If I give money for him, kitna de sakta hu? I might be earning 1 lakh a month. Maximum I can give 50,000. If that remaining also, my wife will ask me, kya hua aaj ka salary? So I can only give this much, right? Or I can only give that much. I'm limited to what I can give. What I can give, I'm limited to. Are you all agreeing? Should we not do all these things? We should do all these things. But there is something more greater I should know what to do. So I should go and ask him, why did you leave your father? You used to be from a great family, of a rich family. You had so much money in your pocket even in college time. Why did you leave your father? Is that a good question to ask? Yes. And you will tell, I had fallen in love with this girl. My father didn't approve. So I left the house and I came outside. Now, what is your duty as a friend? As a real friend, is to unite him and his father. If you unite him and his father back, all his problems are solved. Is his job problem solved? Food problem solved? Clothes problem solved? Every problem solved? Right? That's exactly the difference between a devotee and a non-devotee. Non-devotee people, philanthropic people will give all temporary things, which is good, but they'll never connect you to God. But if you get connected to Krishna, then all your problems are at once solved. What are the problems that are solved by getting connected to Krishna? You will not take birth again. You will not come back again here. पैदा ही नहीं होगे तो भूख कहां से होगा? कपड़ा किसके लिए चाहिए? You understand? Krishna is calling us to the spiritual world. There are two words, material world and spiritual world. We are sitting in the material world. That is spiritual world. We don't belong here. We belong there. He is coming again and again and coming in different avatars and trying to attract us, saying, come back to me. Come back to your home. No, I want to enjoy here. I want to be like God here. Okay, but he is not leaving you. He is sitting with you as Paramatma. And what a devotee does, the greatness of a devotee is he doesn't expect anything from you. He only wants to connect you back to Krishna. That's all. The day you get connected with your father, you are the most richest person. Is there anybody more richer than Krishna? Can there be anybody more richer than Krishna? On Lakshmi Puja day, what puja you do to Lakshmi ji? मुझे धन दे दो, वरलक्ष्मी, धनलक्ष्मी, जयलक्ष्मी, लक्ष्मी, पूरा मुक्कोटी Lakshmis. And that mukkoti Lakshmis are massaging the feet of Krishna. And wherever Krishna goes, Lakshmi also goes there. Wherever Narayan is worshipped, Lakshmi also is taking care of that house. Right? So you should understand that a devotee is the only real well-wisher in your life. The only real well-wisher. Remaining all well-wishers are there, but maximum they can give is temporary. But devotee is connecting you back to Krishna. Yeah. So now let us end the class by praying to Lord Nrsimhadev and a great devotee named Prahlad. Right? How Prahlad is a great devotee and how he had so much faith in Lord Nrsimhadev. And we want Nrsimhadev to protect our devotion, protect our attempt to learn Bhagavad Gita. We will pray to Nrsimhadev so he will make us more regular to our classes. We will pray to Lord Nrsimhadev that all the obstacles are removed. Right? Nrsimhadev removes all the obstacles. Right? We will pray to Lord Nrsimhadev that he will wake us up every Sunday on 7 o'clock. We will pray to Lord Nrsimhadev that he will bring us to this place to hear again and complete the Bhagavad Gita. How many of you really have a desire to finish Bhagavad Gita? Real desire. You should never lose that desire. Because as long as you have the desire, Krishna will help you. If the desire is not there, ye yathamam prapadyante tam satay bhajami. If you don't have desire, he will not force you. He will send you back to India today. Or some other channel you can go and watch. So let's pray to Lord Nrsimhadev. We have Narsing Aarti in that. Right? You can repeat after me. Namaste Narasimhaya. Hiranyakashi Korvaksha Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. भक्ति विघ्नराज के नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की, ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की, भगवद गीता ग्रंथ की, संडे मॉर्निंग सत्संग की, ऑल असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज की, निताई गौर प्रेमानंद, हरि बोल, हरि बोल. So today we are also reading the entire Bhagavad Gita in the evening. If you know Indranagar, when you go on the main road, you get a petrol bunk on the left side, and beside that petrol bunk there is a community called Aditya DSR. So there today evening, almost 100 of us are sitting in 5-6 circles, separate circle for Telugu, separate circle for Hindi, separate circle for English. So you want to read a different language, you can get your Bhagavad Gita there. You can bring your parents. My mother is sitting in reading in Telugu. Once in a year we do this. Actually, we should have done it yesterday, but I did not want 2 days of yours to be blocked. So I kind of kept it in the same day. If you are available in the evening, come by 4 o'clock to Aditya DSR. Directly come to the clubhouse. There also, as security recognizes that there is a session going on, they'll allow you inside. You can come and read the entire Bhagavad Gita, all the 18 chapters. So it takes around 3.5 hours. How many have done it in the past once? Some of you had done. In our house we had done it. Yeah. So we do this on Gita Jayanti as well. You can again do it. And there is a month to give Bhagavad Gitas. So if anybody wants to take box of Bhagavad Gitas, it's 200. Actually, now the price has increased. The old stock that you are taking now, it's 200 rupees in English Bhagavad Gita, but now it's 240. Right? So English you want to give, it's 240. Buy these Bhagavad Gitas, give it to your friends and relatives. That's the best gift you can give on their birthdays, anniversaries. What I do is, I buy a stock, keep it in my house. Anybody says it's my birthday, I give Bhagavad Gita. I say it's anniversary Bhagavad Gita. Death or birth doesn't matter. Take the Bhagavad Gita, right? So the best gift that we can give others. So we can maintain a stock, you can take. Anybody is interested in getting a box of Bhagavad Gitas, let me know. I will send you the bank account details. You can buy it from the temple, directly take, or we'll bring it here and give you the box. So Nitai Gaur Premanand, thank you very much. Ekadashi today, so please have your Ekadashi Prashad. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you. And please write your name on your Bhagavad Gita. It's your personal copy, and make your notes also in this. Hare Krishna.